Okay, I figured I'll try to video this as I go along. So my plan here, what we're looking at is to orient you. We are under the G3500 towards the rear. There's my spare, there's the rear. Next to the middle axle, this is a freshwater tank that looks a little corroded. I might just replace that. And that's the other freshwater, so had to rip the underbelly off. You've got two freshwater tanks, and then here is the black tank. I've got a lot of leaking and corroding, so I ripped my underbelly off and I need to replace this tank. So I have the parts to do it. This just looks like a support crossbar that's gonna have to come off. There's some wires that run across here. They were sitting in the bulk of the nasty leak, so I need to try to clean those all off. And then they plug in over there, which I need to get good pictures of this because I'm gonna have to take that apart. I got a new black tank, I got a new heating pad, new sensors, all that jazz. I'm gonna re-plumb all of that. I got a new valve, so I'll have to put the auto whatever mechanical valve. I'll have to take it off of that one and attach it to the new one because I need to replace all this pipe. What I want to do while I'm under here investigating is that's the hot and cold PEX piping that goes in these guys, and then this is the tank clean out pipe hose. So they all go into the floor of this half bath up here, and then right above on the outside is the inlet where you actually hook the water up. So this goes up, it hits where that hose comes in through the wall, and then there's one of those vacuum pumps on it to the valves that stop the water from coming back out, and it has to be at the high point, so they meet up there. They were hidden under the bathroom sink, really high up. I actually demoed this whole half bath in the back, and I'm turning that into a laundry room. So I have the washer dryer hooked up in the garage right now, but I'm redoing that whole area for the kids, and I want to move that. I don't want to put it in the front, and because I feel like this black tank back here is prone to leaking. It's had a high leak ever since we got it, and I don't know if the way that it's in. I can say that the new tank that I have looks different, so it may be that they replaced changed the tanks. But I ordered the replacement tank through Brinkley. It does look different. Anyhow, because I'm turning this into a laundry room, I'm gonna replace the toilet flange, and then I'm gonna plug it, so if I ever want to convert it back, I have the option. But I also want to put another 2-inch hole here, right where the water supply goes in, so that I can feed another drain pipe through, because I want a drain pipe that comes through, travels alongside of this connection, and then I have a 3-inch to 2-inch elbow Y connection that I want to plumb the drain pipe directly in and bypass the valve, so that when I have full hookups and I want to use my washer and dryer, that I have a drain pipe that will bypass this tank. I don't want to have to put water in this tank to just drain it. Not entirely sure how many times I can run the wash before it has to be drained. I don't want to leave it open, but essentially this black tank, once I replace it, becomes a gray tank because the toilet won't be hooked up to it. It will only be this washer. So I want to be able to use the tank if I'm not hooked up, and I want to be able to bypass it if I am. So I'm gonna put 1.5-inch ABS pipe down through here. I'm gonna put the hole right next to, so where that opening is right against the back wall of that half bath. So I'm gonna put a hole on that side of it either widen this hole so the pipe will fit through or put a hole right next to it. I have very little space back there. I might have just enough space to put it next to it. I don't want to put it on this side of it because, again, this pipe and fresh tank goes straight up to where that hole is, so I need to put it on that side. I'm gonna drop it down. I've got a Charlotte pipe, a P-trap. I'm gonna put a P-trap in and then come up. That's just, it can kind of come through here, and then I'm gonna run it down along that side. So that's the plan, but I figured not everybody gets an opportunity to really see the guts of underneath the wiring job. I mean, other than that, it's pretty clean. This here is the track for the slide that goes that way. It's been open. I'm in Florida, so I'm probably gonna try to scrub this clean. I'm guessing this rust is very likely due to the fact that I've got my underbelly open. And then you've got the two fresh tanks, and then up there it's pretty much open. The one gray tank is up there, and then you'll see my underbelly. You can tell from here that it's dropping on one side, not the other. I believe I have another, well, I know I have another leak in my black tank up there, so I'm gonna have to rip that underbelly off and investigate up there as well, which I'm not looking forward to because I've got to work through the moride drawer frame to get up to that and figure out where that leak is happening, but one monster repair at a time. So this is the loveliness you get when you have a black tank leak. You get critters laying eggs and all sorts of fun things. Don't let it linger. This is all rewired. I bought a regular box. Remove those. Bought these pipe hangers. One, got a whole pack of them. That is set up. This has to obviously be taller. So we're gonna put the extension on that, sort that out. This will get cut, flip up. So this pipe will lead to black tank. That pipe will be a direct to the sewer when we have full hookups. Capped off the toilet if we ever want to put it back in, and then I ordered an access panel that'll go over that hole so I don't have to remove the fireplace every time I need to get back there. We're also gonna have to make the cut there because I gotta take out the black tank, so I needed to get to that spot. And then that'll be replaced with a new one and a plug. And my washing machine will go in there. So I removed the door frame, and the 2x4 that was up against that wall. This gives me 25 inches. This is 23.5, so it'll go against that back wall. Okay, just going step by step with this. So I just cut this hose off here. The new tank I have to drill and put a new adapter there, which will require a screw in. So I need to get the elbow with the whatever twisty thingy. So I just cut that off, and then everything is unhooked. As far as the toe assist wiring that cut across the bottom, I detached the heating pad, so that's unhooked. I'm getting a new wiring harness for the sensors, so sensor wires are all detached. This one was only attached there. This is unscrew from the frame, so that will come clean out. This is detached, so those are your, basically those are what is attaching the tank other than the brackets. So you've got wiring harness for your tank sensors. They're attached in two places. They have to disconnect. The heating pad is attached in, well, mine cap fell off because it was rotting out from the leak, but it'll be attached in two places there that you need to detach. Your auto drain valve, it's actually a plug, and it is a B to like pull apart. It takes a lot of wiggling and pulling and sweat and cursing, but it will come off. You just have to pull them apart. It's really not super easy, but it can be done. And then the pipe here, you can see, is wiggly loose. Detach the bracket from the frame. When I drop this out of here, I'm replacing all the parts. So I have a new tank, new sensors, new heat pad. All of this plumbing will be replaced. I'm going to take the auto valve thingy off. I bought a new valve that will get attached to the new valve, because once you take that off, you can't reattach it. So I need to replace everything. And then this will get all redone, and then I've got a new bracket. So the entire plumbing situation down here will be new. And then, like I said, I'm going to be adding that secondary pipe that's going to plumb down into that open space. It's actually going to have to come down a little bit, and it's going to connect to a corner that has a 1.5-inch connection point. But all the wiring on here is super dirty, so I'm gonna have to when I drop that down and I have access to all the wiring, I'm gonna scrub that clean real good, and then figure out a way to keep it protected. So get it, put it in tubing or something. But the way that they have it down here, it combines, so like the wiring is for toe assist, it comes from both sides, and then they basically knotted it together in the middle and have it secured at the ends. I don't want to drag these through here and then them not work, but it all needs to be cleaned. It's really disgusting. But if you can see, they have them connected there, so you can't separate them. They have to stay connected, but they connect right across the bottom of this tank. So I'm gonna try to put it back in a way that makes a little bit more sense. Stay tuned. Okay guys, this took me a minute. So replacing the black tank, I have to remove the toe assist plug-ins. So I'm not going to plug it back in, but I will simulate what I had to do to get it out of there. So these will plug straight in. They actually rotate. So when it's plugged in, it's like this. So this side piece here is locking on to that little clip guy. So in order to free it, you have to push this back piece in. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. I'll put this right here. See if we can see. So you gotta push this back piece in and then rotate this all the way till it clips. And then it'll release from that hole. So I searched on the internet to try to figure out how to get these guys off, and I was very scared to break them, but that's how you do it. So part of the reason that the tank is leaking, I believe, is there's this bracket, so it's hooked up on that side. It runs along. I imagine at some point there's something here screwed in, and it runs along to the other side here, which I've just discovered is completely broken, snapped off, which then forced the tank to drop which put pressure over there and it cracked the tank. So it is this bracket that failed. And you can see it failed there. It rusted off, or I don't exactly know what happened here, but it detached. I need to replace this bar. Before I pull it all the way out, I want to give you just a look-see. So the brackets are still up there, but I was able to slide them to the side and drop the tank. Got toilet, and then in the Brinkley, the exhaust pipe and the dryer, sink, drain, all of those are connected up top, so they only have one inlet, I guess, to the black tank. Sorry, I'm distracted while I'm trying to talk. It's not easy, but everything is disconnected, so I'm just gonna drag this guy out of here. Show you guys. So this is the new tank that Brinkley sent me. It's all smooth. The tank sensors are already in there, which that's nice of them. But I wanted to kind of show you it's a different tank, and it looks like it's a different material. This one's a little bit more rough. It's got more of these brace type things for, I guess, structural integrity. I'm not entirely sure, but it's quite different. It's a smooth. It's actually much lighter, I think, than that tank too. But yeah, like, I'm just holding it up with one hand. Super light. I'm hoping they switched because this is a better tank with a better design. So we'll see. Alright, I want to show you guys what's going on. So that bracket that broke and made the tank shift, well, it crushed the rubber gasket and pushed it in, and that left a gap. So that's where the leak was coming from, flooding across the top and down the sides. It also left a hole for flies and bugs to get in there. So I have not used this tank in quite some time. Had it shut off and was letting it dry out, but there are for sure just tons of gnats and maggots and things in there. It's really gross. I'm sorry to say that, but that one bracket failing shifted the tank and caused that issue with the rubber grommet. That's where the leak was coming from. So, you know, a frugal person might try to save this tank. I already purchased a new one, so I am going to just replace it and all the things. But that is it, pulled out. This entire thing is intact, so I will get the new one set up and keep you guys posted. I gotta take this guy off now that it's out so that I can install that on the new one when we attach it. Now, give you a peek at the situation under here now. Let me get back on my creeper. Also, anybody who's watching and is interested, this is my RV lot in Florida that I do rent out and try to hook up my Brinkley folks when I can. So there's connection. I'm thankful that the roof of this is in good shape. I'll probably wipe it down, clean it up real good, but so I've got to get that replacement bracket before I can install the new one. So now that it's out, I'll figure it out. But attached like that, and at some point during our travels the screw sheared off. That actually happened on one of the other brackets too, and then this shifted and it dropped. Somehow it dropped out and then the whole tank fell, which made that connection pop out and be slanted, which meant every time we flushed that toilet it was leaking into the underbelly. Okay, so working on my garage because it was threatening to storm, but so I drilled that. That's the rubber grommet. That's a 3-inch rubber grommet fitting. You need a 3 3/4 drill hole bit. This is a drill hole bit. So 3 3/4 to fit that rubber grommet. That is a 1.5-inch pipe fitting rubber grommet. You need a 2 1/4 hole drill bit. So when I looked online, it gave me the wrong sizes. I originally drilled the holes the wrong size, so I want to make it very clear to anybody that has to do this. 3-inch grommet, 3 3/4 size hole, 1.5-inch pipe grommet. You need a 2 1/4 inch hole. You don't have to, but I put the Sikaflex. I'll show you what I use because it feels like people skate by this stuff. Sikaflex 221 black. I will tell you that putting in this grommet should be an Olympic sport. I've sweat buckets. Granted, it's very hot in my garage. I saw a video that said to line the inside of the grommet with the Sikaflex. That's a bad idea for this one. It starts to dry before you'll ever get it in. You can't twist it. You will cry, you will bleed, you will curse, and it will take like 30 minutes. And you may or may not have thumbs when you're done. So do not put the Sikaflex seal on that grommet until after it's in. That one's much bigger, it was easier to get in, but I did not. I put the Sikaflex on after. And I layered it on there and let it dry. I covered any possible gap. Back here, hopefully you can see because it's getting a little dark. I had to replace the, what is that called? The RV flush thingamabob. So you drill a 1-inch hole. I don't know if you can see. If you Amazon this, it's the only one that was available. So then you need 3 screws. Don't come with it. You need 3 number 8 1/2-inch screws. Number 8 1/2-inch. Just drill that hole. Put a bunch of that Sikaflex around it. Pop it in, and then screw it in. And it should seal up quite nicely. And then I've got this is what the hose will connect to with the Odegar clamp. This is the fitting that goes in there. Man, it's hard to see. I got this from Ace Hardware. Was very hard to find the exact one. I couldn't find it at Home Depot, but it is a 1/2-inch mount elbow. So I actually had to replace this bit. It's an elbow. It's a 1/2-inch mount threaded and to a 3/8 inch barbed end that inserts into the hose. So I originally bought 1/2-inch to 1/2-inch. You need 1/2-inch to 3/8 inch. Guys, finally got the new tank in. I got a brace bracket there, and I'm going to do a bolt in this part through the outside, but I wanted to give you guys a shot of do it that way. If you do need to replace it, you might be able to get it from this here manufacturer. I don't know if you still have to go through Brinkley or not, but figured that might help some of you out if you are suffering from leaks or cracks. Still need to get a thing to hold that pipe bracket. That's the one that goes to the tank. That's the one that's direct plumb outside. This I have to just reattach, but that's the vacuum pump for the tank clean out. Just gonna go on the side of the wall there, like right where it was. Replace the toilet. I put a stopper in there. I'm gonna have a access panel there, and I'll get a rubber mat that'll cover that, and we'll get the washer in there. Alright, finally replumbed this. I didn't re-pex it because it's the washer dryer hookup in the garage I'm not using, but that's pretty much how it was set up originally. A little outrageous, but I just kept it. And then there's a connection piece there, and then that still runs. So the gas exhaust goes all the way up to the ceiling. That goes out for the other, used to be the sink, now it's the washer dryer thing. Alright guys, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes, so sorry for the jumpy camera. So the tank is back in. The new tank heater is on. That's this guy here. It's not attached yet because I gotta get some more wire connectors. The new tank sensors are on there, and then the bracket is put back up, and I'll show you guys what I did to fix this one. So I just went with the bracket underneath to support it, and then I've got a bolt. See if I can't get you guys up in there. Stand by. Then I've got a bolt through the end of the bracket there, attached, so I can screw it in from the other side and pull it out from that side. And then that bracket is just there for reinforcement for now, because I couldn't get the part from Brinkley. I got a little, they reached out, but I just don't have time to wait anymore, and I just haven't heard back. So here's what I want to show you, and I gotta get it all tested out. But up here is my bypass. So this is my P-trap. See if I can't get you up here in a way that doesn't make everybody dizzy. So anyway, looking straight up through that hole, that's my half bath in the garage. I had the 3500, so that's a half bath in the garage that I'm turning into a laundry room. So this is a P-trap, goes up, out, and then that pipe runs along the top of this. So this is all brand new plumbed. I gotta let it sit overnight before I fill and test. I also have one more bracket that I need to put up under here and plug all my things back in, but I'll show you this from this side. Alright, so up top you see that bypass runs along the top, and it connects to this elbow here, and then down to the drain. So then all the drain just got reconnected. I redid all this plumbing, but I'll let you know how it works. But mainly that is for the washer. So I'll have the two drain pipes for the washer. One will plumb directly out, one will plumb into that black tank if I need it. And it's actually, the washer is the only thing that's hooked up to that black tank right now, but I've got the plumbing in there for the toilet should I need it. The tanks themselves are super light. They're really light. So I've taken it out and put it back in by myself a couple of times. Kind of lay on your back, get underneath of it. The one thing I didn't realize is that bracket over there is actually welded in, doesn't come out. This bracket unscrews, so you've got to kind of put it up, set it on that bracket over there, and then you'll get this bracket in place and screw it in. But all in all, this one wasn't hard at all to replace. It was just getting all the parts. Don't know about the one up front, but the location of this one I felt like was pretty easy to do on my I'll show you the inside once I get in there. Still working on finishing touches, but washer is in. And we got a spot for this. We'll get a little shelf back there for laundry things. All our hookups. This is the direct plum. That goes to the tank. That is the vacuum valve for the black tank clean out. Let's just put back. Success.